Hello everyone, this is Unlikely Buffy here. Welcome back to Command Line, my Minecraft tutorial series in which I show you interesting things you can make with command blocks and commands as a result. The one we are going to be taking a look at today is a campfire. There are probably a lot of campfires out there that you can make in Minecraft. However, this one's a little bit special because, as you can see, if we put a cow through it, it actually gets set on fire. And then it will burn to death and give you some cooked steak and leather. So it's a bit of a dangerous campfire. And there we go. There is our steak. How much did we get from that? That was... I don't actually know because I had some meat in my inventory already. Very well. But this will work with pretty much any mob that you want. You can have sheep. You can also have pigs. Whoops, that's not a pig. That's a pig. And even potentially rabbits if I remembered to put that one in. Come here. Yep, rabbits. Put rabbit in. There you go. And also chickens, but I forgot to grab my chicken egg, so here we go. And chickens right here. The way that this works is basically that it detects when a mob is standing over the campfire by using an end portal 2 blocks below it. Below the mob, that is. So it detects when the mob is 2 blocks above a end portal and then sets them on fire. This setup here with the armor stands and the fire is more just for show. Because otherwise it'll just look weird if animals randomly get set on fire in the world. But you can have this anywhere in your world, you just have to change where the end portal and armor stand setup gets put. All of this is running off a simple set block clock. Although in this case it's more of a fill clock because it's coming out 2 blocks instead of just the one that it would be otherwise. So if we come into this bottom command block, we can see that it's filling the block right above it, and 1 towards -X with clay. And I also hit 0 for the damage value and replace, so that way it doesn't make too much lag or too much noise when it's doing this. And then the 1, 2 above that, so there's that command block down there, and then the 1, 2 above that, it is doing the exact same thing except it is filling the blocks below it instead of above it, with redstone blocks instead of clay. Also, instead of clay, you can use whatever block you want. Clay is just easy to type, so I use that. And then 2 blocks above that middle one, we have the set block for 1 block below it of clay and replace. Basically, all that does is shut off the clock. So you can see this is running right now. All those redstone blocks are being replaced in there. If we place the redstone block in here, then it turns everything off and shuts off the entire thing. And thusly, this is no longer doing anything. Let's put a pig in here, and we can see that if it walks on top of the campfire, it now no longer burns. And then for the fire animation, actually, real quick, before I get into that, you can either turn the campfire clock back on by placing the redstone block right here, or because that's a little hard to reach right now because of all the command blocks surrounding it, I've also set up a set block for that particular spot. And so that way I can just hit it remotely. And it's good. But now for the fire animation itself. All I'm doing is executing it at all entities of type armor stand. But it's being executed at 1.65 blocks above where the armor stand is sitting. Because remember, on a 2 block high entity, then the bottom block of that 2 high block is where it technically is, so 1.65 blocks puts it right at the shoulders of the armor stand. And then what we're executing there is particle. The particle is flame, relative coordinates, and it is making it so that it is 0.1 blocks wide in both X and Z directions, but none in Y. So that way it's pretty small and tight like that. And it is going at a speed of 0.015. If it was higher than that, it would be blown out everywhere, all those fire effects. So having it at 0.015 makes it nice and slow and groups tight together. This number here is only for, it's showing that it's giving you one particle whenever this block is executed. However, because there are 4 armor stands here, and it is being executed at 20 times a second, then it results in a lot of fire effects. Let me just turn this clock off, and I'll show you what it looks like if we just do it once. Oops. Hold shift whenever you place a redstone block against command blocks. Remember that. That's what the command looks like when it's executed one time. Let's just turn this back on. But because I'm not really specifying for these ones in particular, then if you have any armor stands in the world, they will all get the particle effect. You can see that if we place down any of them. You can fix that by naming those armor stands like Campfire or something, and then it'll only execute it at armor stands named Campfire if you set it that way. However, I'm lazy and I don't really mind. Because if I have a Campfire, it's probably not going to be anywhere near other armor stands that I'm seeing, so it's alright. But how do we get the actual armor stands here? Let me just turn this off again. It's easier to see without the fire on it. Well, basically, once again, we're just summoning 4 armor stands all in the same spot, just different rotations. So we can see here that we are summoning an armor stand at these exact coordinates. It is 0.35 blocks down from where it would normally be. Like, if we set an armor stand right here, then it is summoning it at a Y level of 55. These are Y 54.65, as you can see here. So that way it comes right to the shoulders and looks like a campfire. And then we're doing that and adding no gravity to it so they don't fall, because I've had troubles with them falling through the ground if I don't put no gravity on it. Then this particular one has a rotation of 45 degrees, so that way is facing in this direction. You can see it is this armor stand right here. Oops, that's the wrong one. And then it is also invulnerable, so that way it can't get hurt by stuff. Just in case you have some kind of lava or creeper coming by, it won't get rid of the armor stands. It is the exact same thing for all 4 armor stands, except the rotation is just different. Negative 45 for this one, so that way it is facing, I believe, in that direction. Yeah, right there. And then one is just at its normal one, which is facing in this direction. And then this last one is at 90 degrees, which is just facing in that direction. I could have gotten those last two mixed up, but oh well. And then I'm also setting a block of, what is that, end portal frame. 0.65 blocks below where the armor stands are being summoned. So that way it is at exactly 54. So pretty much the armor stands are sitting right on top of the end portal frame. You can see here, 54.65 for the armor stands, 54 even for the end portal frame. And now for the actual burning of the mobs. You can see here that I'm executing at all entities of type cow relative to where they are. And then I'm detecting 2 blocks below it for an end portal frame. And then that is just a damage value. I need it to be able to execute the next thing. Then I'm executing at all entities of type cow again, relative coordinates to where they are. And then I'm executing the command, or then I'm running the command entity data of all entities type cow and setting them on fire. Basically, it is changing their information in the game. So that way, if they are coming across that top 2 blocks above the end portal frame, then the game is just changing the information so that they are on fire. You're not summoning any fire, it's not going to damage anything in the world, it is just changing the entities themselves. You can change this to any entities you want. All you have to do is change cow to whatever you want. All 3 times you can see inside this command line. So we have cow here, cow here, and cow here. I like to have it for most of the common mobs you would find in a foresty setting, because that's where you would normally find a campfire. And so I have chickens. Fire 200 works for this because that's 200 ticks. And cows take the longest to burn to death that I found, at least it seems. Sheep might be exactly the same time, I'm not sure, but at the very least, that time works for all of these entities, all these mobs. So chickens, they'll burn to death really quickly. And then this one is pig, and forget that radius. I was just messing around with it and it wasn't working, so don't think about that. Then I also have it for pigs. Nope, that's a minecart. This was sheep. As well as rabbit. Like I said before, you can change this to any entity you want. Any mob. So you could even change it to, say, I don't know, an Enderman. Let's try that. I hope Endermen are actually in the eggs. Like the spawn eggs, like the cow, those ones. You know what I mean? Enderman. And let's just type and see. And yes, good. Wonderful. Give me that back. You can see if we spawn an Enderman here, it definitely gets set on fire. And now he's freaking out. It's a fun way to kill them without actually angering them at all. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode today. I really hope that you enjoyed this command line, and if you did, you can download this world in the link in the description. You can also find the list of commands there too if you want to build it yourself. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to leave a like and a comment below, and I'll see you next time. So long, everyone.